man. Yes. Let me know you can hear me on YouTube, man. What is going on? What a great start to on this glorious Monday. Let me pull up. I'm back in New Orleans, so I'm down a monitor. So I'm working a little handicap, man. I got to get this figured out. I don't have a lot of space here, but I'm working on this thing that's a 3-monitor spread without. What is going on? Okay, I can hear myself. There you go. I got little space for the base, but I need more than, obviously, as a trader and a live streamer, you need more than one monitor. You can pull it off with one, but it's harder to see charts and to pay attention to the market. So I usually have pads going, fucking TV, all this stuff. I try to keep 3 or 4 in front of me. Audio's good. Thank you, man. Hey, my name's Gerald Peters. Always remember, whatever you think about comes about. Whatever you focus on grows and expands. I'll tell you what, that's true for the stock market. You think about stocks a lot, you're going to end up with a lot of stocks. That's just how it works. That's why I try to keep my attention on it, man, even when you don't want to, even when you want to puke, even when thinking about it makes you sick. I've been there, man. I was just telling them in Discord, I got a relationship with Netflix. It's like an ex-wife or an ex-girlfriend, man. We just agree to be in the same market and not talk to each other. That stock has had me thinking about Lambos and had me laying on the ground crying as a grown man. I don't trade that stock. It's a sign of maturity level. Just let some things go. Some things just have your number, man. That your style, your movement, your whatever, it just doesn't work. And if you get those things, life's too short. Just cut them. Put something else in. Don't worry about it, man. You know, same thing with a coin or if something's got your number, man, there's too much shit in this world to trade. There's too many good stocks, too many good crypto coins. There's too much good stuff to be frustrated, man. So we're looking at here is the TSLL. This is one that I was, we were tracking Tesla. Obviously, in the Money Flow gang, we track Tesla. I had a guy the other day, you used to talk bad about Tesla. Yeah, that's because all you guys were buying it. You catching on there, youngster? I want to buy shit you don't want. And then I want to sell it to you when everybody else wants it. And if you hang out with GP, you're going to start to catch on to that. So all the shit that's popular, I don't like it. I want to buy it when nobody else wants it. So I want to buy Bitcoin at 16,000, not 60. You get what I'm saying? Now that number fluctuates. I mean, the situation can change based on the valuation. But it's like, yeah, I like it way more down here than I did up here. Man, when you get on that side of the transaction, and again, that's not perfect. Let me play something for you. None of this stuff is perfect, but it's just a philosophy of thinking. Listen to this. I've been deep diving Howard Marks. He's a billionaire. Think all the nonsense you know and you haven't listened to Howard Marks. Oh, hold on, man. Come on, man. Pause. Get your shit together, GP. Hold on.
I have a quick question. So how do you distinguish between minding the cycle and market timing? Because everyone says, you can't time the market, but it seems like just want to hear your take.
Well, that's a great question. And
he runs Oak Tree Capital.
My initial reaction is to say, okay, you got me. Because, and the reason I say that is one of the 6 tenets of Oak Tree's investment philosophy is that we're not market timers.
Listen.
But I do think that the way I try to weasel out of that vice that you put me in is that I think that market timing means raising and lowering cash based on a prediction of what the market's going to do.
Listen.
And we don't usually raise or lower cash, and we never make a prediction of what the market's going to do.
Never.
And
listen.
What both my first book, The Most Important Thing, and the second book, Mastering the Market Cycle, say on the subject is we never know where we're going, but we sure as hell ought to know where we are.
Come on, baby. Talk to me. You'd think I worked at Oak Capital. God damn, I must be running the hedge fund because that's my philosophy too. I have no idea where we're going, but I know where we are. And based on what we are, I can allocate money based on what I actually see, not some shit I made up in my head. Now, watch what else he says. This is a self-made billionaire, baby, with a B. billionaire. All he does is get up to trade these markets. Now watch, finish what he says here.
I do not believe in forecasts.
Yeah, baby.
And you know, my hero, John Kenneth Galbraith, said we have two kinds of forecasters, the ones who don't know and the ones who don't know they don't know.
In other words, they don't know shit.
So one of the tenets of Oak Tree's philosophy is that our investment decisions are not driven by macro forecasts. We don't have an economist on staff. We don't invite economists in to tell us what GDP is going to do next year.
No, there's the EMFG.
We base our decisions on where we are in the cycle. In the cycle.
Yeah, baby. We don't need no damn economists. I don't care where you went to school. If that was it, shit, all the economists would be rich, and they're not. So what we know is the economists don't know jack, okay? All they're doing is reading some reports and trying to base some things. Now, that doesn't mean you don't read them. I read the shit all the time. I need to know what's happening when it happens, because every once in a while they get it right. And it's not about that. It's about positioning money. Okay, it's all it is, man. You're never going to see where a GP's like, we got to go to cash. No, man, you need to get some trading skills. You could put on some hedges. You could short. There's always something going up. I don't need to go to cash. I'm collecting dividends. I got stocks to trade, crypto. Like, man, there ain't no need to go. We got to. Now, again, that's not, we're talking time frame. I'm talking big picture there. But if you notice, if you're in Discord with me, and this is Tesla, by the way, this is a 1.5% leverage. This is what I try to do for you guys, man. This is what I try to do, and it's what the MFG tries to do for me, because all my friends in there have my best interests at heart. And, if I miss something, they text me, they PM me, they text me to my phone, they let me know. Like you could text me right now, be trading with us. We might like you. You got to walk the gauntlet, though. Like, we're going to make fun of you for a while. If you don't like to be made fun of, don't come in the group, because I will make fun of you from time to time. That's just how it works. That's called a rite of initiation, okay? That means we like you too, by the way. If I don't make fun of you, I probably don't like you. If I'm super polite all the time, I probably don't like you. That's just the way I roll. You see these moving together, these moving averages? This told us a whole lot. Now you say, well, what does that mean, GP? It means it's going sideways. I don't know if it's going up, guys. But I do know what the pattern looks like. And this is the pattern God gave me. I can only work with what God gave me. So one time I'm at a casino. This is a true story. I do believe God talks to people. Now we may define what God is differently. Okay? We can argue about that later. But I do think there's things that talk to us. Call it intuition, call it, I don't know. Maybe you've been laying in bed thinking about the shit and your brain's just answering your question. Okay? Call it what you want to call it. But it's something higher. And I had been studying and reading, and I'm the kind of guy, if I start reading, man, I get 500 books. That's just the way I am. I read, study, listen to things. Like, it's either worth studying or it's not. That's my philosophy, okay? We're either best friends or get the fuck away from me. I don't have time for a lot of middle ground because life's too short, man. So, I either love you, I'm not talking to you. That's kind of the way I am. So I'm either doing stocks or I'm not, okay? And if I'm not, I'm done. I'm going away. I'm all in, man. I don't like to do anything half-assed. So as I'm studying, this image comes in my head as I'm playing blackjack. Now, some people would say, well, Jesus, he doesn't go to the casino. Yeah, he does. He made it. He owns everything, even the bad things. So I'm in the casino maybe it was Buddha, I don't know. And I'm in there, and I see it clear as day as I'm playing, because we had been winning, and then we stopped. And then it kind of turned. I was like, wow, this is like a stage 4 decline. This dealer's killing us. And as clear as that came in, and I'd been reading about, I'd been reading Stan Weinstein. You probably heard Chris Johnson talk about Stan Weinstein. I think I turned him on to him. A lot of us, everything is just a layer, man. Layer 1, you guys into crypto, layer 1, layer 2, layer 3, web 3.0. These are all layers, man. Everything is a layer on top of a layer. And that's what I saw clear as day. I was like, dude, I don't want to say Stan is wrong. That's not what I mean. But what I began to see was to see the pattern on a daily chart. And I was like, man, whatever. It's fractal. We know that. And so I began to say, when things come together, that tells me it's either A, going down, or B, going up. And that limits my choices, because markets only can do 3 things. And if I can eliminate one of them, shit, now I got a 50-50 chance. And as long as I use stops and targets and I have a repeatable pattern, then I can develop an edge, and over time I can win. And that was the game, because I'm a patient mofo. I'll follow up with you 100 times. I used to work sales, man, and I would follow up and follow up and follow up and follow up. I was a king of follow up. Money's in the follow up, by the way. All you guys in sales, I give real estate agents a hard time, and some of my favorite people are real estate agents. And my friends will be like, why are you always picking on real estate agents? Because you guys are shitty salesmen, by the way. Shitty. You spend zero fucking time knowing how to sell. All of you. Had a single mom hit me up, and she's like, what do you think I could learn to sell? Sell. Sell shit. Sell, sell, sell. Money comes from profits. If you want to make a lot of money, you got to think in terms of profits. Selling is profits. And selling game is about patience. And the trading game is about patience. CVS Pharmacy was just added to the newsletter. We're a little early. If you go to page 11, I do this thing called Trade of the Week. It doesn't change weekly. It doesn't change weekly. You say, why do you call that? Marketing. Trade of the Week sounds cooler than Trade of the Month. Right? Like, you get what I'm saying? Trade of the Week. Oh, shit, man. It makes it sound like that's just marketing. This changes maybe once a month. What I'm looking for when I say Trade of the Week is like, it is the setup. It is a no-brainer. The market is in an uptrend, by the way. If we come look at CVS Pharmacy, which I already pulled it up, it's trading at a 23% discount. Now, they have legitimate problems at CVS Pharmacy, by the way. Go look at one near any large town. Everything's blocked in plastic. Stores look all fucked up. Crazy, uncivilized mofos are stealing it. Who the hell steals toothpaste, man? God damn, you put half that effort into getting a job. If you could pull off stealing toothpaste, I think you could sell some soda on the street or something, but I digress. Anyway, if you look, this is the money flow pattern, just big picture. Sideways up, sideways down. What we don't have is the actual bottom. That means I'm jumping the ground. I'm jumping it a little bit. Sometimes I do that. Sometimes I yell at you guys for doing that. I'm the creator. I can do that. So it's coming down. What we're trying to grab is this apex point right here. Now, if I say it today, that means I think the bottom is in. Remember, I don't believe in prediction. I don't know where the stock market's going. But here's what I do know. This thing is undervalued. Okay? Check one. What else do we know? Let's go down the list of checks. Where is it in relation to this 200-day movement? I wrote a whole book about this, and I haven't released it yet, and I'm going to. I may not even sell it. I'm thinking about releasing it on the blockchain. Make you guys figure the fuck out how to get it. You got to get it from the token. I may make it as complicated as fuck to get it. You got to go open this and then transfer money to this and then do this and then get this so that you'll learn something even getting the book. So I'm thinking about doing that, man. I'm in talks with people on how we can tokenize the book. And then I'm just going to let it trade. And you're like, what do you mean? We could trade the book. Get it? Like, I'll put my price on it and then people can trade it. What do you think, man? Should we do that? I think that sounds fun. But anyway, and then it'll be forever on the blockchain. So when OGP dies, it'll be there. So the price has come down. We're putting in what I jokingly call the Jesus candle, Jesus cross. It just makes a cross. Then in actual technical analysis, they call this a Doji pattern. Dojis are very common at bottoms and tops. I don't trade on them. I used to in my day trading days. Yeah, I was going to put that out to the Money Flow gang. Anybody wants to maybe get on that project or help me? It's not that I can't do it. I can just only do so many things a day, man. Would like to tokenize it somehow. I've been thinking on that. Just for fun, man. Not fun, but you know what I mean. I think it'd be cool. That way you have it. It's on your phone. Anyway, anybody's got any feedback on it? If you ain't the MFG, man, keep it to yourself. Talking to the MFG if they want to be involved in that. I think I think that would be a good idea. I get all these people that are not in the MFG that contact me about various things on crypto, and they all I don't even hear them, bro. I'm like, I don't even know who you're. You don't even own my book. I can't hear you when you speak. I just hear blah 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 blah, and they contact me. Hey, we'd like to help you, Bob. Good, buy my book, and then you can talk to me. Otherwise, I'm not talking to you. You know, I had a salesman the other day buy it just so he could talk to me. And I was like, all right, bro, you got my time. That was cool. Every other little salesman out there, they're like, oh, and then they move on. It's like, you weak ass bastard. You could have just bought my book and then you'd have had my attention and then you'd have got probably the sale. So technically, we know when an undervalued stock that pays a dividend gets underneath the 200, it gets pulled back to it. It gets pulled back to it. You live in the quarter. Oh, Qatar. I thought you were about to say the quarter, bro. About to say, man, come on down to the house. How can I get your book? Well, Mr. Qatar, which I like the Middle East, man. I've been to the Middle East. We got this thing now in America called email, baby. And if you buy the book, I'll email it to you. And I'm pretty sure you got email in Qatar. And there you go. Now you got the book. Don't worry about the hard copy. Just print it off, man, or look at it on your phone, man. You got to get down with, I know they got email in Qatar, man. Come on. So this is probably our bottom. We are a little bit early. We are a little bit early. The indicators are moving up. We are a little bit early. I want to stress this. I had a couple people jump, bought some options. I like the gumption. I think you're going to be okay. This is an option setup. I put that in there. A buddy of mine texts me. I hope you got smart friends, man. I got smart friends. They'll be like, hey, I see what you're looking at. And then we go back and forth, right? So all your friends are like, hey, let's smoke a doobie. And you're like, yeah, but let's talk about Zim first, and then we'll smoke a doobie. So they even call it doobies anymore? Or is that I think that's a 70s thing. Daps. What do you guys call it? What's the kids calling it now? So this probably is going to hold. We got a previous zone of support. That's the money flow pattern, right? Sideways up, sideways down, sideways. We got the BNB. We're way below the 200. It's worked every time so far, okay? We got that going for us. Spliff, that's what I was trying to think of. They can crack. Come on, man. Come on, man. We ain't got time for crack, man. You can't trade on crack. You can trade on weed. You can't trade on crack. Or maybe you could, you day trade. So this is all set up. You got the dividend, you got undervalued. It's technically, fundamentally set up. The company does have problems, okay? What's my plan on this if this goes down? I'm going to let it stop. Meaning, let's say tomorrow it just rockets down. Don't buy any. This is what you're waiting, okay? This is a super important lesson. If you never get anything from me, get this right here. This is a bottom. This is a bottom. Price came down and it stopped. And then you got 1, 2, 3, 4 days sideways. The actual stage 1 buy signal. And I'm going to show you how to use this on short-term trading. That right there is the actual buy signal. If you're like me and you're a greedy bastard and you start to think you can almost read the candles, because sometimes I have to catch my own self and remind myself, Gerald, you actually don't know shit. Stop. Because sometimes I'm so in tune that I'll be like, I'm buying that. And I'll get it. Because I can feel it, man. It gets back. Well, of course, that was back in the box. That's a whole nother thing, okay? Sometimes I get hot, man. I don't know about you guys. Like, I mean hot. Where it's like, if I pick it, it's going. I don't know, man. I know one thing. If you brag too much, the market will make it'll take you down a notch. So if you ever see me doing it, I'm usually just kidding for content. But sometimes, and I'm sure you do too, I just get hot, dude. And my stock, I mean, they all just work. And I think it's okay to talk about that, but it's also okay to remind yourself that it's like, all right, bro, don't get too goddamn carried away with yourself. My best pick of the year so far, besides Bitcoin, was, remember I said this was my highest conviction? Whenever I say that, that doesn't mean like go stupid on it. It just means if you walked up to me and you said, right now on CNBC, Gerald Peters, Woodstock, that would be the one. It's the one that I'm thinking about when I go to bed. It's the one that I'm laying in bed thinking about. It's the ones when my friends are talking to me. I nod my head like I'm listening, but I'm not listening. I'm thinking about Lyft. And we were buying it in the $10 range. Now, is this my favorite stock? No. Lyft's dead to me. It's already moved, man. So what you're seeing here, it's not dead to me. I'm just kidding there, but you see the pattern. Sideways, up, and now we're going into a stage 3. If this works off and comes to here and holds, 3 can become a 1. 3 can become a 1. And what I mean by that is stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and then it stops. And if it holds this, and I'm just walking you into my course getting started with stock charts. If it holds this and the RSI works off, it very easily could now be a stage 1 and you have a breakout and it keeps running. If you remember last week, I was saying that with crypto. And you say, how do you know this? Look at the wind. You guys that are friends with Chris Johnson, follow Chris. I know Chris had to get the wind from me, man. I think I'm the only one that ever talks about the wind. But the wind, I love that he uses that because it's so true. It's like being in a sailboat. The wind is at your back, meaning the wind is in the direction of the trade. And that's when you get runaways. That's when you get those ones that keep pumping. We've been all this week, we're talking about this in Bitcoin. I think I threw some people off. Let me show you this just from a technical, even if you don't like Bitcoin. Maybe your wife won't let you have any. No, you're not going to have any Bitcoin. I can't buy Bitcoin, Gerald. My wife doesn't want me to have it. She thinks it's bad. So you got a secret Bitcoin account. That wouldn't be a bad idea, by the way. Get a secret Bitcoin account. Just saying. Shh. So, not that I would know anything about that. Ask FBF about the secret accounts, man. Shit might come in handy. Just saying. That's between me and you. Don't repeat that, guys. Bitcoin, we know from the past, it can pump for a while, weeks into that RSI. Eventually this stops, okay? So the RSI kicks in like right here. And then watch what happens. It just keeps pumping. We've seen this. I think one time we had a 66 bar past the RSI pump on Bitcoin if you've been in it more than 2 years. I think I'm coming up on year 2, okay? So it is possible this thing can pump. And so the RSI gets a little loosey-goosey when it comes to Bitcoin. I find the bottom one works better than the top, meaning because once it just runs. But technically, we have a stage 1 to a 3. I would anticipate Bitcoin stops here, works off this RSI at least to here. Now, let me give you an example. If you come over to my notes, man. Yeah. Let me take you over to the notes. Go back to page 35. You guys trade with me. You're supposed to do your homework. I'm going to start asking for it. I'm going to start randomly contacting Money Flow members. Let me see your homework on Sunday night. If they're like, oh, I don't got it. Block. I'm going to block you. I'm kidding. I wouldn't do that. I'm just going to publicly shame you. But I wouldn't block you. I'm just kidding. I would publicly shame you, though. Stage 3. Now, this doesn't mean I'm going to act on it. Okay? So what this is this is how GP does this. And you can play with this. You don't have to have it set up exactly the way I do. And sometimes I'll change it around a little bit, okay? Like stage 3s. I have this in my living room. If you ever see my house in New Orleans, this is in the living room, okay? At my home in Texas, it's in the living room of the office, main living room. And I'm constantly playing with it. Now, this is what we're doing right now, okay? So what? Let me finish this here.
And my hero, John Kenneth Galbraith, said we have 2 kinds of forecasters, the ones who don't know and the ones who don't know they don't know. So one of the tenets of Oak Tree's philosophy is that our investment decisions are not driven by macro forecasts. We don't have an economist on staff. We don't invite economists in to tell us what GDP is going to do next year.
Yeah, we don't need no school teachers.
Base our decisions on where we are in the cycle of that business, in the cycle of the economy, in the cycle of the market, psychology, and attitudes towards risk, and in the capital market cycle. There are a lot of cycles that bear on our decisions. We try to have a sense of where we are.
Where are we, baby?
Very important, but everybody recognize the book is
this is where we
fully
are
open on this subject. Knowing where we are doesn't tell us what's going to happen tomorrow.
Right.
Because for example,
It doesn't tell me what's going to happen, but you can't disagree. This is where we are. FCX, stage 3. So if GP needed money, I don't need to go looking around. First thing I'm going to do is go to my stage 3 stocks. Why? Because I want to sell strength and buy weakness. I want to sell strength and buy weakness if I'm managing my portfolio. Or if I want to raise money, I want to go look, do I have anything? I don't want to sell the whole thing. I'm just, maybe if you're trading, but as far as managing my portfolio, I would go look and say, okay, this is trading at $44. How big is my position size? And let's see what it's worth. Okay, let's see what it's worth. They say it's undervalued. Goddamn, still trading at a discount. Okay, well, unless if I was trading, that might be different, but I'm not trading it. So I don't want to trim that. All right, next. And so as I go down my list, man, I can start looking. Hanes Brands. I don't want to trim that. It's still undervalued. Cody. Now, Cody's a throwback from the past. I've made a lot of money in this stock. You guys be making fun of the Kardashians. They've been making me rich. I buy this stock. This stock is a Kardashian stock. I had a buddy of mine. He's like, those stupid old Kardashian. I'm like, yeah, you're too stupid to understand the money flow, baby. Because if you understood the money flow, you'd like the Kardashians. I don't know what the fuck you're talking about. This is a Kardashian stock. So while you guys sit around playing around with baseball stats and other stupid shit, you could be watching the Kardashians and getting rich. But instead, people make fun of them. So my point to that is, my friends, is that the money is all around you. So those little 12-year-old girls you see on their phone giggling, yeah, guys, you need to go over there and be like, hey, what are you looking at? Because this money is all around you, man. She sold her lipsticks to this company, man. All the kids be buying it. And if you haven't noticed, it looks a lot like the money flow pattern. Sideways up, sideways down, sideways up. Okay? So that's one. I've owned that for a long time now. So what else we got? SoFi, undervalued, don't want to sell any. Spotify, that one's rocketed up, don't want to sell any. Yeah. Wife would be like, why are you looking? Don't be freaking out a little. I'm like, hey, I just want to see what you're looking at on your phone, man. You might be looking at the next Snapchat, by the way. That's how I got in Snapchat and wrote it from like $12 to $50 because all the kids were sending pictures they didn't want their parents to see. And if you would have paid attention, instead of getting mad at them, you could have bought Snapchat chairs. But most people, their brains are too small to comprehend what I'm saying right now. So money is all around you, guys. Stage 1. Stage 1s are stocks that I wouldn't mind buying. Even if GP's not buying them, I may have a bunch of it, so I'm just not buying it. But if you're new, if you're building out a portfolio, stage 1 is when you get your chance. So we got Lockheed Martin. These are defense stocks. We got CVS Pharmacy. That's also a B&B trade, right? Bread and butter. It's trading below 200. If you go to the podcast, I'm doing this new thing I'm going to try to do it on Saturday or Sunday nights where I do a verbal, where I go over this on audio, okay? Growth. Now, if someone said, well, why isn't Tesla there? We already did Tesla. Tesla's off the board now. Listen to what he said, okay? So when you see this board, it's right now is what I'm looking at, okay? So right now.
In the cycle of the market, not driven by macro forecasts. We don't have an economist on staff. We don't invite economists in to tell us what GDP is going to do next year. We base our decisions on where we are in the cycle of that business, in the cycle of the economy, in the cycle of the market.
Cycle of the market, cycle of the economy. So it don't matter what your opinion on Bitcoin is. Nobody gives a shit, and you actually don't even know what you're talking about. You probably don't even understand Bitcoin. I highly doubt you've spent 100 fucking hours studying it. So anybody's opinion on it means jack nothing, okay? So if they don't have 100 or 200 hours of reading and studying it, their opinion means nothing, okay? So when I went down this rabbit hole on it, it was Chris that got me to do it. I probably spent, I'm going to give it 1,000 hours. And then I've been studying ever since. So that's how I do it, man. So remember that. Most people who have an opinion have spent very little time studying to formulate their opinion. Most of them can't balance a checkbook or even handle their credit card debt. So the last thing we want to do is take any financial advice from our uncle, our friends, or whatever, okay? They haven't put in the time to study it. If you put in time to study it, Yeah, so like he said, Tesla's in a stage 2 breakout. Yeah, but we were buying that shit 2 weeks ago, right? So it's not on my list anymore. It's past the breakout zone, man. So if you go back and look, what was on the list, let's back this up for a second. So again, ideas. These are ideas that I'm working on. Building a position in coffee. Still building that. Nice and slow, man. A lot of these you'll see I build them real slow. We got weeks sometimes before they run. Trim and lift. I think if you're trading it, it might not be a bad idea in the buy and hold. I don't know. It's gone pretty hard. I imagine it stops for a minute, okay? It's not going to keep going. Laggard crypto coins. That's what I was already into, and then you guys sidetracked me. So if we go look, and I was talking about this, once Bitcoin's running, I know stuff like Doge and these other, you're like, well, I thought you didn't like Doge. I don't like Doge when you guys like Doge. You get what I'm saying? If everybody likes it, fuck that stock and that coin, man. I don't want to buy it then, guys. I don't want to buy it when it rips and it's in the news. I want to buy it when it's going sideways and nobody wants it. That's when I want to buy it. And then when they all want it, I'm going to sell it to them. Does that make sense? So what? Look over here. So this is on the daily, but if you back this up, let's get down into, say, the 1 hour chart. If we know it's pumping, man, we can just pick up these ones, these stage 1. So at that point, I'm just looking for laggard coins, man. Who's lagging a little bit? 60 RSI could be lagging. Get what I'm saying? Like, so when we pulled back into the 20 here, Bitcoin's still pumping, man. So I dropped down the chart to a lower time frame, and what am I waiting for? For it to turn around and start following it. So it pulls back. So all right, cool. Bitcoin's in an uptrend. All pullbacks are subject for me to buy. So this little pullback here, now I'm nibbling. And look at the run. So what am I doing now? I'm getting ready to start nibbling. This thing breaks, gonna run, man. So all that is understanding the wind. What Howard Marks just said there. Where are we at in the cycle, man?
Macro forecasts. We don't have an economist on staff. We don't invite economists in to tell us what GDP is going to do next year. We base our decisions on where we are in the cycle of that business, in the cycle of the economy, in the cycle of the market, psychology and attitudes towards risk, and in the capital market cycle. There are a lot of cycles that bear on our decisions. We have
What he's talking about there is patterns. Now he's more fundamental, and I know he looks at charts. They all do. They say they don't, but they do. Everybody I know that does, unless they're just super old school, they don't. But even the guys executing the trades, because if Warren Buffett calls you and says, hey, let's buy $1 billion of Delta, they're not going to do that in one day, man. They'll freak the market out. So they're going to watch. And so whoever's doing the actual trading execution, I guarantee you is watching the RSI, watching the thing. They're looking for points of entry to get into this stock, man, because they can't do it all in one day. That's why these chart patterns work, because all these hedge funds and family offices and mutual funds, they can't just run up and buy a fucking $10 billion of Tesla in one day. So they'll buy all the way up into $12. Some of them will buy, man. So yeah, this is running. We got plenty of room to the upside. I think we're up 15, 16% in this. Should be up like 50 in lift. I don't know. There's a whole bunch we're up, right? Yeah, Google ran fast. And then, unfortunately, I didn't get any of this GGLL, but I told people about it. So look at this pattern, guys. This is Google. And we've been talking about this. They got these new ones with the Amazon, Tesla, and Google. Soon they're going to be tokenized, and that is going to be the shit. Look at this pattern. That's right from God, man. That's the money flow pattern. That's it. Look at it. Sideways up, sideways down. And once you understand it's not about prediction, it is what we are. We are where we are. Well, that's, once you start going sideways, you're either going to go up or down. Now I got a 50-50, man. And if the thing's undervalued and the Qs are in an uptrend and I got the wind at my back, I now got an edge, man. And that's called the money flow. And there's your breakout. And then your target's right around here, to be honest. God damn, man. I'm getting excited. I'm going to buy the damn book, man. I'm going to get it, man. Some of you got the old book too. Cheap, greedy. Got the old one. You're supposed to buy the new one. I got a new one. It's thinner. It's much nicer. I got a limited edition of the Money Flow going to come out. Professor kind of made me look bad with his fancy ass book with the gold and the hardbound. Made me feel a little basic, I'm going to be honest. So I'm fixing to do a limited edition hardbound with gold letterings. We're going to be fancy like the professor. I might even wear my new hoodie for the photo shoot. Let's see. It says, do you like Pfizer here? Yes, sir. Look at that, baby. Pfizer on the B&B. That means it's a blue chip stock with a big fat dividend trading below the 200. I love it. CVS, Kellogg's, ETRN, BXX, Intel, XLU. These are all buyable. Doesn't mean I'm buying them. It's based on my portfolio. I may be already loaded up on Pfizer, so I may not buy any, but you're new to the game or you're looking for swing trades, these are easy. These are the easiest ones. These B&B, man. They're so easy. And if you come over to stage one, you'll see Pfizer's on a stage one. So is Southern Electric, which is part of the XLU, right? Amgen, part of the Pfizer's, part of that, Merck, Bristol Myers, they're pulling back. We had a big hit with these consumer staple stocks like Kellogg's, Pepsi. So if you don't own any, now you have your entry. Now you have your chance. So you just be patient. Sometimes I'll get people like, hey, I got $10,000. What should I buy? And it's like, man, that's the wrong fucking question. You should learn how to read stocks and read charts and learn how to see what's valuable. It's not what should you run off and put your money in, man. You should learn how to put your money in. So it may take us 4 months to get 10,000 in as you take advantage of things, as you pick up stocks. So if I was brand new to the market and I'm learning the money flow and I'm learning about stocks, I'd be like, okay, cool. This is on sale. Let me start nibbling. Now I got a little Kellogg's. Now I got a little Pfizer. So now I got some consumer staples. I've got some big cap pharma. What else? And I would just start going through the sectors and I'd be picking up stage ones. You know, I'd be picking up the worst performing stocks that are good stocks though. Let's see. And then you start trading with confidence and you're buying value. And if you don't notice, that looks a lot like the money flow pattern there. Oh, somebody asked me about Zim. I said I was going to stop covering the stock. I got too much negative feedback, man. I had too many people pissing me off, so I just stopped. Some of these, I got to figure out how to put these out and about in the world. Because some of them they're risky. I don't know another word for it, man. Stocks are risky. And the stocks that can give you the biggest returns are the most risky. And you know, a lot of people on this stock went and read the dividend and they're like, oh, it can be. And it's like, yeah, okay, maybe it is, man. But sometimes shit does work and sometimes it is right. And if you were just always the guy that's like, oh, I don't believe that dividend, and you just immediately turn out and, well, I don't know what to say, man. I'm open to God speaking to me. So as I go through my reading, I read 2 to 4 hours a day, guys. While everybody's at work, I'm reading. I'm looking at charts. I'm thinking, talking to contractors, looking at property. Like I'm thinking, man, I'm working. And I might spend 100 hours on Zim. I had a guy send me a video by this guy and they were just trashing the stock. I just replied back with, fuck that guy. And tell him I said it. And he's welcome to come on my story anytime my live. And we'll see if he spent 20, 30, 40 hours studying it. If he knows who the largest shareholders are, if he knows who anybody on the board is, if he's read their earnings statements before they went public, if he's actually done a day's fucking homework, which I highly doubt. Most people are just talking without doing any homework. So, you know, maybe I'm wrong on it. I've been wrong. I've been wrong on a lot of stocks, but I've been right too. What do I invest in right now? Bryce says. You know what you invest in right now, Bryce? You invest in yourself, sir. I like that suit though, bro. Bryce says, what do I invest in right now? What you invest in right now, Bryce? If your girlfriend will let you. You come over here, man. Make sure you ask her though. I don't want you to get in trouble. And you order this book. So get the money flow, Bryce. You guys remember this Bryce.McCormick3. Don't come back on my live and you ain't ordered my book, Bryce. I'm going to block your ass. Matter of fact, I'm writing your name down right now. Let me get a pen. You need to order the book. We're going to keep an eye on Bryce. He's got a suit on like he's fancy and shit. At least he doesn't have his shirt off by the swimming pool. like some people on here do. And then they call themselves stock traders. Ain't no stock trader sitting by the goddamn swimming pool, man. That's all bullshit made up on YouTube. Every stock trader I ever met is sitting at a fucking computer reading, studying. And I meet these guys and they're like, oh, well, I only spend an hour and a half a day. You're full of shit too. I never met anyone who actually did that. That's bullshit. That's stuff they make up on TikTok and YouTube. I've met real adult men that actually make their fucking money trading and investing, and they don't spend 10 fucking minutes or whatever I see a lot of them saying. They're damn sure not sitting at the swimming pool all day. They're damn sure not at a beach all day. You ever notice? Here's this guy. He's a billionaire.
But we try to have a sense of where we are.
And he looks more like
Very
Bryce.
important, but everybody recognize the book is fully open on this subject. Knowing where we are doesn't tell us what's going to happen tomorrow. Because for example, as we've seen in recent months,
Here, come over here and look at like the real guys, the Soroses. I mean, traders that trade billions, ain't none of them at a fucking beach. None of them. That is the dumbest shit, dude. None of them are standing by their stuff. Like, none of them, man. None of them. You don't see like any of them guys doing that. That's all kids, man. Let's see. No, well, of course he doesn't know, man. He's brand new, man. He don't know. I'm going to help him out, though. Yep, see, my man still got the picture. He's chilling with the drink by the pool. I'm telling you, bro. I look at that and it's like, he don't know shit about making money. You got to change that picture, man. You got to get a shovel in your hand. You're digging a hole. Then I'll be like, look, that's a man knows what's up right there. He's digging, hammering, banging, painting. Go get it, man. Stop relaxing. What's wrong with this fucking generation? All right, man. He says, we say we're in need GP. Man, I love you guys, though. Bryce, on the real, man, hit me up. Let me help you, bro. You could be the next stock assassin in the money flow gang. Man, we could change your life. I got 30 guys in there. Show you how to trade, man. Man, come on, man. All right, now. You guys got to be nice to people. I can pick on people, man. You guys should be nice to people, man. Get a paintbrush in your hand, bro. Get out of the pool, man. Get your shit together, man. P.S. And by the way, girls don't trust you with your shirt off at the pool either. They're like, he don't even look like he works much. How's he going to take care of my babies? He's at the pool. Just saying. Some V, what choppy chart? We'll do one more. So everything's going good, man. I'm just trying to, we got a breakout going in Zim. I hope it keeps going. I bought a lot down in here. I bought a lot in here, and to be fair, I bought some up in here. So I'm just nibbling away. That's how I play the game. And like Howard Marks said, man, we can only play what we see. Meaning I'm not trying to make up anything. I don't know where shit's going. I just play the hand that I'm dealt. And I have a portfolio of stocks. Some of them are swing trades. Some of them are buy and holds. And this is setting me up. So as I look at this right here. This is the big seven. He knows I'm just playing with him, man. I'm just playing, man. I don't care. Take your shirt off, Bryce. Real quick. Change your picture, man. Give us a shirtless picture. Help the ladies out. These here, someone asked me in Discord, I kind of just assumed everyone knew what I was doing here. I'm ranking these from 1 to 7. Whichever one has the best ranking is the one doing the best. So if you were swing trading, short-term trading, you want to look at those. The ones that are doing the worst are probably not the best trading. Can anyone join your Discord group? No. You gotta buy my book. You gotta change your avatar picture on Instagram to shirtless for 48 hours, and then you gotta submit your application. Now go to page 29 of the newsletter. It talks about how to do it. These are ranked. So Bitcoin's the number one in America right now. And then we got metals, gold is number 2. 3 is the Dow Jones. 4 is the SPY, and then the Qs, and blah, blah, blah. So that kind of tells me what's up, okay? So as I look at this, it just kind of gives me where's the wind. Right now the wind's in gold and Bitcoin, and then followed up by the Dow. So that just gives me something to think about as I'm trading. And I'll hit this one, and then I'm probably going to be buying a little more Dogecoin today, by the way. But let me show you this, then I'll get out of here. If you come over in Discord, we had a thing called Fast Money. Don't do this if you're busy, if you're at work. You're going to get in trouble and all that shit. We've been swing. Are you headed out? I love you. I'm gonna head out here too shortly. Pray go to the gym.
Okay, I have books upstairs that you need to sign.
Do they need to go to the post office?
Not today.
Okay, just sign them.
Just sign them.
All right. Did you call Uber?
I don't need Uber. I'm local.
Oh, you're walking. That's right.
Bye.
All right. See ya. Bryce, if girlfriend sees me in a shirtless, kidding, man. Anyway, so we dropped this down. We've been trading this on the 15-minute chart in there. I've just been showing guys. So on 1,000 shares. So like you can paper trade this with E-Trade, guys. I hate that they give you 100 fucking grand on your paper trading because I think that's ridiculous. So, but say you could paper trade say 10,000 or 1,000 shares of this, and this is what we were doing. So we're using the daily for our direction. So on the daily, I'm looking to trade to the long side. Why? Because we're above the 20 and the market's moving up. So on that little dip, I'm still looking to trade to the upside. So I'm just waiting for those setups on the 15-minute chart that confirm that. So when it was doing this, I sit out the trade. This is against the daily. What I'm waiting for is this setup. Now this is one we took a little loss in. See, it went sideways, stopped out. Went sideways, now look. Oh baby, 1,000 shares. That's $2,000 fucking dollars on one swing trade. I don't know about you. I was almost 2,000. So that's getting in right around 19, man. We actually got in about 1880 to be honest. And it rode that bitch all the way up. And so now you'd be taking it off, man. We'd be taking the trade down. We're probably going into a stage 3. So I would be downsizing this on the 15-minute chart. Why? You're going to let it come in. So what we need is the market to open down tomorrow. And on a 15-minute chart, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15 minutes, 15. Now what? I would start looking. But then what? We went down again. Now what? I'm starting looking. And I want to trade in the direction of the daily. That's how I used to day trade, man. And you can work on this. But anyway, we've been posting these in the Fast Money. But don't fuck with those if you don't have time, because it could change just like that. I mean, you could be in and out the same day. But look, man, look at these runs you can get. Do they all go that nice? No, but that makes up for a lot of losers right there, right? On 1,000 shares, I mean, or 100 shares, I don't know. Yeah. Now, he talked about SQQ. I would not switch to the SQQ in my trading days because I take direction from the daily. And if the money flow says on the daily chart, we are in an uptrend, I ignore all sell-offs as far as day trading or short-term swing trading. And I'm looking for this to pull back and stop. And then right in here on the lower time frame, it would have went sideways. And then I would have got my breakout. And then boom, we would run it up. And you could close it out at the end of the day and wait for the next pullback. And you're just trading in the direction of the trend. So over here, you would have only been taking short trades if you were short-term trading. Because why? We're in a downtrend. And so every one of these pull-ups set you up, because then it would have started going sideways, right? All of these little pull-ups that are underneath the 20 set you up to write it down, right? So the short side is much harder than the upside in my mind, just for me. Yeah, and some people call that scalping. I know the professor likes to scalp. For me, I'll let them ride over. If the trade is still going, I'll just stay in it. So it's not really true day trading. It's just swing trading in the direction of the main trend on a lower time frame if you're trying to grind out money. So if you're trying to grind out money, you could do that, but only do it on one thing. That's what I was trying to get across this weekend. One thing. That means swing trade as many as you want. But I'm talking about if you're doing this where it's short, in and you might get out, only do one thing. And tomorrow, stay with this same thing. And the next day, and the next day. And when your friends go to the pool, you stay on this shit. And every fucking day, you watch this. And you're looking at the daily, and you're looking at the hourly, and you're writing it down. What direction is the trade? And if there is no trade, you just wait. And if you're with me, you got 20 swing trades going anyway, so it ain't no big deal. And you got 50-something buy and holds you're working on. So we got plenty of shit to do if the trade doesn't set up. But if it does, right? If it does set up, I can make that move. That was a valid setup. And look what happened. Busted out. Look, busted out. All right, cool. Comes down. What am I waiting for? Valid setup. So I take a little loss here. No big deal. We got other trades going. No big deal. And when this one sets up, oh, baby, we don't even remember about this little loss here. Right? Oh, and we caught a bunch over here too. So look, as they run up and bang that RSI, I sell half the trade. If it wants to go sideways, great. Pops again, sell half the trade. Now we're out. Now we're stopped out. And that's all trading in the direction of the daily chart. A lot of ways to day trade. I'm just sharing the ways that I like to do it. And there's been a lot of interest in that. And rather than yell at people and send them away to some weird person who might fuck them up, what I've been doing in there, plus I've been in New Orleans, I've had a lot more time just to sit around and do it. So we've been tracking this every 15 minutes. Something to keep in mind if you're interested. If you do play that game in, keep one thing so that you can truly be in the flow of that one thing, okay? And that'll really, really help you. A lot of you guys day trade and you're popping from stock to stock. I promise you, if you do that, you will always suck. You will never be good. I have never met a good day trader who was personally, who jumped around a lot of stocks. I know there's guys on YouTube that claim they do, but let's see. Just don't read them, bro. Let's see. That's on the 15-minute, man. But don't let that confuse you, man. I get a lot of people wanting to do, be smart about how you do it. There's not a lot of setups every day. If you're a scalper or whatever, but that's not my thing. I actually got to work during the day, man. Let's see. That's it, man. I hope you guys are doing well. Anything I can do to help you? I don't know if you guys saw it my last live the other day. If you haven't seen it, first hour is me talking. The last hour is Chris Johnson and the professor came on. They got into a little bidding war on the badges. That was funny. I did not know that Instagram would stop people from buying, like at 50 badges, they stop you. Yeah, I don't know. MO's kind of in floating zone here, man. I don't know. Appreciate you, stars and bars. Appreciate all you guys, man. A lot of earnings this week. Yes, there are. You guys bet. So keep an eye on this CVS. That's my trade of the week. I just put it on the newsletter. We're a little early. We are a little bit early. That's all right, though. I feel like we can be a little early. Maybe not. But technically, we need it to hold, and we need it to get above the 5-day. I'm jumping the gun a little bit. I'm letting you know I'm jumping the gun a little bit. I don't know, call it a good feeling. Not a smart way to trade, but sometimes I call an audible. Everything is just lined up. We're hitting previous support. We're extreme RSI. We're 20-something% below value. We've got a dividend, and we're below the 200. I'd be shocked if it went lower. I would be shocked. Anyway, appreciate you guys, man. Let me check YouTube, man. What's up, YouTube? See if anybody had any. Maddie B says should have bought more. I think we got plenty of time on Zim. I wouldn't get too worked. Something tells me it'll come back down. Let's see. What's up, Michael? All right, appreciate you. I was just checking the. Go check out this Howard Marks guy, man. It's good stuff.
From any point on the cycle,